Okay, so I made it public right now. So let me ping the same in here. Can someone confirm whether this is working? Then we'll start the session. I have kept it public. Mm, okay. Sure. Let's look in this. We'll continue. Okay. So in today's session, what we are going to talk about is how to quickly build a completely working application. So I'm not sure how many of you have seen this when you probably book a ticket through Make My Trip or Go Ibibo or Redbus, or even when you book a cinema ticket through Book My Show, you will get your ticket back in your WhatsApp as well. WhatsApp has a business API. So what they do is, if you are a business with a huge amount of users, and you can subscribe for their business API, and they will allow you to send some of these transactional messages to your end customers. You can't. There are a lot of rules behind those what kind of messages to be sent. So only if you adhere to these some of these rules, they will let you send a message to your end customers. So they typically send whenever you book something, they will send you the details over there. And there are other services, something like even during this pandemic, some people have built daily stats on what is the update on COVID-19 cases across each and every state in India. So you will get one alert on every day inside your WhatsApp. It will give you the complete stats, and you can build your own bot that gives you score update whenever there's a match going on with the India team. So you can call any public API if someone is exposing the ball by ball score updates. You can pull that data and you can send it to your WhatsApp. So if as an individual, if you want to subscribe for this WhatsApp Business API, they won't allow you because you should be a registered company with a huge set of user base. So to get over that, what you can do is you can use other third parties. Like there's a third party called Twilio, which we are going to use in today's session. So Twilio provides an API on top of WhatsApp Business API. So that will allow you as an individual, you can build your own WhatsApp bot. But that will still be in a sandbox mode or a testing mode. You can't go live with that, but you can do all sort of testing. If you want to go live as a production application, you need to pay for it. It's not free. It's quite costly. Even to send a single message, I guess it cost around 25 paise. It's more costlier than an SMS. So, but for today's session, you don't need to worry about it. You will get a free account. You can do all sort of testing with your test account itself. That's more than sufficient for us. So we are going to use Twilio. So in this presentation, in the link below, I have given a lot of other things. So what are the other APIs that you can consume? What I am going to do today is we are just going to use two public APIs. One API, okay, when I say API is application programming interface. So what it does is you hit a URL, something like google.com/something, and it will respond back to you with a XML response or a, JSON response. Then you parse that data, get the detail out of that API. So in today's session, we are going to use two APIs, two public APIs. One which provides random codes from popular people, and another one which just sends cat's picture. So this complete session is taken out of one tutorial from written in Video's blog. So I have made it to work more for a Windows application. So even I'm using Windows after a long time. It's very difficult to switch from Mac to Windows once you get addicted to Mac. But I assume most of you are having Windows laptop and mobile phone with internet connection which has WhatsApp in it. If you have these two, definitely you can exactly do what I am going to do in the today's session. So whatever we are going to talk today, so I have documented everything here in my GitHub. So the link is there in the presentation first page itself. I have pinged that link as well. If you see this chat, you can see my GitHub link. So I assume most of you might have exposed to what is GitHub.com. GitHub.com is a open source companies are using GitHub.com to host their public repos. So open source is definitely helping a lot, especially nowadays when we used to be in college. So whenever you get an error, and you go to some link like Stack Overflow. So there you can see one more person had the similar error another 7 years back, but there was no response to it. But all these has been improved a lot nowadays. If you get some error, just paste that error message in Google. Definitely, 1,000 other people might have faced the same, and you will get the answer in the first link itself. Probably a Stack Overflow link or a GitHub.com link. So GitHub.com is quite popular. Almost all the top open source projects, like Node.js, React.js, AngularJS, and a lot of other open source repositories are hosted in GitHub.com. Even companies like GitHub.com is a Microsoft company now. Microsoft acquired GitHub.com, and almost all the top major projects are hosted in GitHub.com. And if you want to start with anything, there will be tutorial available for that particular specific topic. Say it's Python or Node.js, React.js, AngularJS, or Golang. You go to GitHub.com, find a tutorial, best working tutorial. You can see the rating for each and every project. Find the best one and start learning that. And at the end of the session, what you are going to do is you're just going to follow what is there in that GitHub link. do step-by-step procedure and make sure that application is running. Once after that, you are going to create your own repository and you are going to push that code in that repo, and we are going to make this application running. So that's what we are going to do. So the application that we are going to build is a very simple application. What is going to do is so we are just going to register, get a free account from video.com, and then you are going to enter your WhatsApp enabled mobile number in that user settings, and you are going to use that WhatsApp sandbox mode testing provision in it, and whenever you send something in that WhatsApp chat, so it is going to hit our application and try to get the info, and then send it back into your WhatsApp chat. So so that's what we are going to do. Whenever you say a goat or a cat, so it's going to pull that info from that API, and then it will send it to you in your WhatsApp chat. And so, okay, can you tell me one thing? How many of you did you have any exposure into Python till now? Can someone ping me in chat? Do you have it in your syllabus? Anyone? Oh, okay, okay. Hey, and feel free if you have any doubts, just enable your mic and ask me directly. So even if you want me to talk in Tamil, நான் தமிழ்ல கூட answer பண்ணுவேன். நானும் mother தான். Okay. So don't hesitate to ask any questions. So whenever you create any Python application, one major thing you need to do before you start building your application is creating a virtual environment. I'll demo this as well, but I'll just give an intro. So what is a virtual environment? So for example, in your laptop or the machine that you are working on, you might be having multiple Python application running in parallel. And each and every different application will be using different libraries, like you do in Java or in C, C++. You import or include some of these libraries, right? And Python has the two major versions, Python 2 and Python 3. For this application, we are all going to use Python 3. And if two different applications running, one with Python 2 and one with Python 3, and they will have different dependencies. For example, you might be using one library which does a mathematical operation. But with Python 2, it might be using a different dependency. With Python 3, it might be using a different dependency. And if you don't use a virtual environment and you import these libraries, what will happen is it might work with one of the newer application, but it might break the older application. To avoid all these inconsistencies, so what we do is we create a virtual environment. You pull in any dependency within that virtual environment, it won't affect the existing other application that is running on your machine. So that's the problem this virtual environment solve. So even for today's application, we will create a virtual environment before we start building your application. And we are going to use a framework called Flask. So Flask is a web app framework. So it is especially used to build your API, application programming interface. So basically, it's a REST API. When I say REST, so it's a stateless API. When I say stateless, for example, you're opening Amazon.com and you are clicking on a product link. Then you are going into a shopping cart link. So it means that there are two requests came from the same user, but there won't be any state maintained on the server side between these two requests. The server will consider both these requests as a two separate one, even though it is maintained at a user's session. So that is what called as REST API. So we are going to use Flask. Flask is a very simple web framework that is built on more libraries. One is Werkzeug, it's a German name. Another one is Jinja. Jinja is a templating engine that is used behind Flask. If you are building any of the front end component, Jinja is quite useful. But in today's session, we are just going to build probably write some 20 lines of code. That's all what we are going to do today. And why Python? Python is the second most used language in the recent survey done by GitHub. So what is the first one? It's not Java or C, C++. It is JavaScript. So mainly because the huge adaptation of libraries like Node.js, React.js, AngularJS, even most of the mobile app that you have on your mobile, you may not even know which language it uses. Most of them are using some of these web components. So in the web, using web components itself, you can build a native UI. For example, application like if you're using Swiggy or Flipkart. So they don't use anything with native code. All they built on top of React.js. So it's a completely built on top of a JavaScript library. So so that's how it's being widely used. And Python is the second most used language. Python is quite popular, especially in the fields of machine learning. When it comes to machine learning, Python is the most preferred language as of now, and it has a huge support from the community, and they can build any scalable application. Even the previous company I was talking about, Chumbak, in Chumbak, we built the whole web stack to manage 25 million plus people using a framework called Django. Django is another framework like Flask, but it's quite bigger framework which does a lot of things to build a complete end-to-end application. And I have given a few links. You don't need to follow exactly what I have done in this session. If you want to follow some other tutorial from Leo's blog, just follow the tutorial from there. Once you get used to it, you can start building any other applications. I have given one more link. So what are the different open APIs that is available? Think of anything that will be quite useful. Just build that application. So just think what problem you can solve around you. If something can be useful for all your college mates, just use that. So it's up to you. And I have given one more link, fullstack python.com. So which has I'll show you what it has. So if you want to build a end-to-end application, so this link talks about what are all the different things we do in a production application. So whenever you have free time, you can go through all these and learn what are the different things we do other than just building uh, your front end and back end. So no one uses HTML at all in companies right now. So everyone uses frameworks like Angular, React. They build the web components instead of writing HTML code. It's very old school right now, at least a decade old right now. Other than that, there are a lot of things people should know: how to host it, what is a platform as a service, what is a different kind of web servers people are using. So you might have heard about Apache, IAS, but what is widely being used is Nginx. So that's the widely used server when it comes to production level application. And read more about what is continuous integration, what is Jenkins, what Jenkins does. And two more important thing right now in the corporate side is running these two, Docker and Kubernetes. So what is Docker is it gives it works in the same way how a virtual machine works, but for example, I am developing an application today using Python Flask on my Windows machine. Tomorrow, I want to run the same application on a different Mac machine or a Linux machine, or I want to host it somewhere on the server. So what Docker does is Docker just give me encapsulate all the dependencies and make it work as a virtual running environment inside my same machine, and which gives me independency from my underlying OS, which I can put it anywhere else on a later point and run it there as well. And Kubernetes is the orchestration platform. You can manage all your Docker instances. You can using Kubernetes. Uh, One second. Hello. Yes. I don't know, something wrong with this YouTube live session. So coming to that, you can read about all these different topics. It's not related to just Python. Whatever stack that you pick, all these topics are going to be there. How different things are being handled, and it has specific libraries which might work with Python, but the basic underlying systems are same across different languages and different stacks. And yeah, so I have shared this presentation as well. The GitHub link. If anyone wants to read it later, you can just open it here. And okay, let's quickly start building our application. So in this README file, I have given a step-by-step procedure on what needs to be done to build our working application. So this is the whole code that we are going to run today. So this is the whole application. But let's start from the beginning. So what are the dependencies we have? We need to have Python, latest Python, just download from the link I have attached it there. And we are going to have use Flask. So Flask is a dependency package we can install once you have Python. And ngrok is an awesome application. What it does is whenever you run something on your local, it will give you a local server link. Something, it could be something like 127.0.0.1 colon port number, or you can call it as localhost colon port number. So what ngrok does is whenever you have an account with ngrok and you redirect this local link to a publicly accessible link. So we need to do this because we need to talk to Twilio endpoints. So do that with the ngrok. I'll explain more when we are coming to that. And Twilio, we are just going to create a free account. Just sign up there with your email ID and phone number, which has WhatsApp in it. And I'll show you how to what to do with that. And have one smartphone which has WhatsApp in it. So it's all we need. So as a first thing, what we will do is we'll go to telio.com and sign up there. Okay, so I have my account already, but it's a typical sign up how you create your email and other things. So just do a sign up over there inside Telio. And then what we need here is go to this programmable messaging part, and there you'll see a link on top, building with WhatsApp. get started here. Let's go there, and you will see try WhatsApp. So it will tell you how to join this WhatsApp API from their testing account. So this is just for their testing account. It won't go to production, at least unless you pay money. So all good for us to run testing application. So what I'll do is let me show you my screen. So what I have done was I have added this number as one of my contact, and I'm going to ping this particular text in that chat. Just, just I'm just going to connect my Android mobile just to show you the screen share. So I'm using an application called Wiser. Wiser used to do screen share. It will mirror your screen. Okay. So yeah, so this chat is with the business account. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to type the exactly same text. Join server -c. So can you see here? It was waiting for the message. Now it says message received, and I got a response back. So now this is working. So we have a, testing Twilio account ready for us to work further. So we are good here. So we'll go back to our application now. So this is the first step you need to do. And as I said, let's create a Python virtual environment. We create a virtual environment to stay independent of other running application on the same machine. So it won't affect anything, any changes you do with the library dependencies. It won't affect the rest of the application. So when you start working, you can just keep copy pasting step by step commands what we have here. So I'm already inside the hotspot folder, and what I'm going to do is Python 3. I have Python 3 installed on my machine. So the command is Python 3 -m virtual environment VEN, and you can give whatever the name you want to give. So I have created a virtual environment. Now you need to activate it. So you need to enable it. So the command for that is virtual environment name /script/activate. So now you can see it is enabled here. So how do you deactivate? Just type out of it. So you can go here and see what you are activating. So yeah, you activate executable is inside the script folder. Let me activate it again. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to install all the dependencies what I need to run this application. So how do I do it? So I am using a library called Pip. Pip is a Python installer that comes along with your Python installation. So you say pip install Twilio. Twilio provides a open Python library. install Flask, and you install request. Request is a networking library which we use it to call our APIs. So I have all the libraries installed already, but it will, otherwise it will take some 10, 15 seconds for you to pull it once again. So now it's ready. So next what we'll do is so I'll create a simple file called app.py. So I'm using an editor called VS Code, Visual Studio Code. So it's a open source. Again, this is open source IDE from Microsoft. So under Whatspot, all these files were created when you created your virtual environment, Whatspot-VM. And I have created one file called app.py. Just going to write a simple hello mother application. So what it does is first you import Flask and you create a app from it. So these are default templates which you need to do whenever you write any Flask application. And it says app.root is a single slash. So what does it mean is when you ping google.com, so that's the root directory. When you say one slash, that's the root directory. And you ping that endpoint and you call this method inside that, and it will return you this hello method. Or say if you say bot, it means that you need to ping, say if you're running it in your local host colon 5000. 5000 is the default port the Flask uses. So you need to call localhost colon 5000 slash bot, then it will return. I'm just saving it. Then so I'm going to run this application. So three and uh, so now you can see your server is running on this path. So it can be either this 127.0.0.1 or you can replace it with your local host. So you can skip all these. If you want to try, you can try this as well, but you can just directly do this path. So how I can verify it? I can just use a browser. See what is going. I know it is going. Okay, here it is. Sorry, it took some time to respond. So or you can just replace it with local host. So it will give you the same result. So this is a simple hello world application where you ping a server and then verify its response. So in companies, what we use is typically the company use something like this application, Postman. Postman is a API testing tool, I would say. So here, instead, here you can see the response. So Postman is a company from Bangalore. This is one of the tool being used worldwide as the default API testing tool. As API testing, this is the first tool people prefer. This is a free tool. You can also use it. Okay, we are good to go further. And there are a couple of links I have given how to start with the Flask. If you want to explore further, you can check a couple of these links. So this was given by one of the author who wrote that Twilio blog earlier. So I have added that link over here. And another important thing, what we are going to do is we are going to write a webhook. So what is a webhook? Webhook is something like an external event just triggering an action inside your server. For example, say I have a restaurant application for my own restaurant, and now I want to know people coming into my restaurant. How do I know? People generally don't do it inside your application, but people might use application like Zomato or Swiggy, and they might be tracking users location. Probably some application like Foursquare, they will allow you to check in into a particular place. It's not quite popular now, but people used to do a lot with Foursquare. So they go to restaurant and they check in, hey, I'm being here, and they will give you points, and they will give you some tag name that you are master, you are captain. So based on number of check-ins that you do. And so whenever they get that response that they have the particular customer entered your restaurant, so the third party like Zomato, Swiggy, or Foursquare, they will send an action to your server. Hey, this particular person has entered your restaurant, and based on which we can take action. So that is called webhook. So in this application, what we are going to do is, so we are going to use Twilio API, and whenever a user asks, we are asking, going to ask a cat picture or goat, or we are going to say something to Twilio. So what we do is we intercept some of these messages, and we'll send the action back into Twilio's API response. So let's start writing a simple bot. So so let so what I'm going to do is I'm adding one more routing. So it's like 127.0.0.1 slash bot, and I'm saying method equal to post. So typically in any REST API, there are five different kind of requests. Five, it's more right now. But people generally use a get request or a post request, put or patch or delete. So what is widely used is get and post, sometimes delete. And you need to read a lot. What's the difference between a get request and post request? I'm not going deeper into those topics right now. So for now, what we are going to do is we are going to write a, post method call, and then that is going to respond back to you. Till now, it's not integrated with Twilio yet. So say so I'm not sure how many of you have seen these bots. So even in applications like say Uber or Swiggy, so there are no people involved at all in the customer support team right now. Everything is managed through bots based on your request. Bot will respond back. Even some of these banks also using bots nowadays. On every website, on the bottom right corner, there will be some link where you can open the chat window and ask a specific question. So based on your question, that bot will respond back only on peculiar cases, specific cases which bot can't respond. The people behind that will respond back. So it's being widely used a lot of places. So check that this is responding. Mhm. Invalid syntax. Okay. This should be good. Okay. That is for the requested URL. Here you go. Got your response. But I'm unable to execute that in a browser since I need to send it as specifically as a post call. So this works. So let me update this file, otherwise you will also face the issue. So, regardless of any application you are building as your college internal project or final year project or any application you are building, please definitely do use GitHub. You can create both private repository and public repository. Because whenever you go to any company, whether you are in a testing team or a development team, whatever team you are going to use some kind of source code management. It's better if you have that experience itself. Okay, so now what we are going to do now is now we are going to intercept the messages that is coming to Twilio, and then we are going to our own add our own logic there. So, oh, you are unable to see my. Yeah, I'm so sorry. I thought you're all seeing my editor. Okay, I think now you should be able to see. So what I have done is I have just copy pasted the code from the link to this editor. So the editor I'm using is Visual Studio Code. So it's called VS Code. VS Code is the widely used coding IDE platform to run to develop your application. So probably you can also try using that. It's an open source IDE from Microsoft. Okay, so now what we are going to do is, so we are going to use Flask to read the incoming messages. So whenever you send anything through your post, so for example, in your post call, you can send some data in your body. For example, you can send something like message. So this is how all the companies do their REST API. I'm just sending a message called just a test to the server. So what the server does is, if they have a permission to check what is the incoming message, they will read it from this attribute message, and they will take the data from there and then process it further. So we are also going to do exactly same. So in this, what we are going to do is, we are going to check whether the incoming message contains two keywords. So whether it has a keyword called cat, or whether it has a keyword called code. So if both are not there, just send a default response back. And with this Twilio API, you can send images as well as part of the messages. So that provision is provided by Twilio. So this code block is also there. If a code is there in the incoming message, then respond it with a code. So how do we respond? Then for that we use a third party. So so this is a API, open API, which just sends you a random code whenever you query their API endpoint. So this is the API endpoint. Whenever you query them, it will send you a random code. And this is another API endpoint. Whenever you query them, it's just going to send you a cat picture. So there are multiple other APIs. So I have given you a link here. So you can find your own as well. So whichever works for you, you can take it up. So there are a bunch of APIs that is available. You can consume. You need to spend time what might work for you. Even you can uh, take an API which gives you daily news feed, just one set of news feed on every day morning. You can configure for that. Spend some time if you want to explore further. You can use one of these APIs instead of what I'm going to show today. So this is the complete code. What we do here is, whenever you hit a endpoint, localhost 5000 slash bot. So you check what is coming in the post message body, and then you respond back with a message. Before you respond, what you do is, if there is a keyword quote in the incoming message, then you call this API endpoint, and it will give you the JSON response. And from that, you parse the content. And then if it is not working, just send a error message. The same with the other one. If there is a cat text in the incoming message, you ping this API, and it will respond back with the cat picture. And you compile everything together. If both quote and cat is not there in the incoming message, and just send something random, and then respond back. So that's all we do, the whole application. I'll just show you once. To make it work, we need to add one more step. I'll come to that later. So, starting my application again. So till now, my application is running in local. And now what we need to do is, so whenever send something in that WhatsApp chat room, say here. Yeah, I'm so sorry. Previously, I was showing my mobile screen as well. Most of you might have missed it. So I'm just sharing one of my test screen. Okay. So what we are going to do is whenever someone sends something here, so we need to parse that incoming text and then see whether there are texts like cat or quote in it, then respond back with the response coming from these third-party APIs. This is what we are going to do. But till now, our application is running on our local machine. So how do we make it public? So what we can do is you can find a server and host it there, or you can host it in an application like Heroku. So Heroku is a platform as a service. So you can explore all these because all these are free of cost. You don't need to spend any. So if you want to host your API for free, just host it in Heroku and give that endpoint to your application. So I can explore that later. So for now, to make it quickly work, what we are going to do is, so I told you about an application called ngrok. So what ngrok does is, so it will make your local application public for 8 hours. So it is temporary. It will work for 8 hours, then it will vanish. So, but for us to test everything, it's quite doable. What you need to do is there is a uh, Windows application which you need to download. So where I have it. So I have it here. So I have downloaded and unzipped that executable file, and then you need to sign up here as well. So once you sign up, you will get a dashboard, something like this. So next thing, what you need to do is you need to run this command, ngrok auth token, and they will give you this auth token. You just need to enter the same in your command prompt. So go to this particular folder where this executable is there, and then run this command. And the third one is you can just test it how it works using this command. So let me just test it. Uh, it works. So you don't need to add this dot slash that is for Linux and Mac. So you can just run ngrok and that. So now what we are going to do is we have application that is running on our port 5000. So now we are going to make this as a public URL. How do we do it? So ngrok will intercept all the HTTP request that is coming to this port. It will redirect to a public URL. Yes. So you get a screen like this, and here you will see links called forwarding. So whatever request that comes to this URL, what ngrok does is it will forward to a public URL. So this is what we are going to use it. I have copied this. Now I'll go back to Twilio once again. So I'm in that programmable messaging screen. Go to settings. So in the settings screen, you will see a link called WhatsApp Sandbox Settings. Go there. So here I am going to replace it. So what it does is this is a webhook. So whenever there is a message came to WhatsApp, so for example, here I have pinged a hi. So what this does is Twilio will send this hi to our endpoint. I mean this endpoint. Just copy. And there we pass that message and send a response back to Twilio, and that will go back to your WhatsApp. That's all we do. So once after adding it, don't forget to save it. Just save it once. Okay. Now your application is running. WhatsApp is configured. So now you're good to go. Now I say hi. Miss anything? This way, shouldn't be a reason for this issue. Let's still check. I have killed the server, so I will engrok a server once again. Edit a new URL. To be sure whether that is the issue. And going to view again. So here you can change what kind of request it is. It's HTTP post or put. Saving it again. Let me rerun it. What should happen is you must receive an incoming request. So only you can see it in the terminal itself whenever there's an incoming request. Yes. So now what happened is, so Twilio received a hi, then Twilio redirected that incoming text to this URL, which we pick it up here, and then we check whether there's a text quote in the incoming message or cat in the incoming message. If that is not there, we will add this as the response back. Then we'll send it back to Twilio, and Twilio will send it back to your WhatsApp chat interface. Now, can you this has the text quote in it, so it should ideally fetch something from that quotable.io and then back to you. Take some time. Let's wait. This could be an issue with the third party API as well. Some delay in receiving. Is it my internet? No, that is fine. The first one worked, not after that. Mhm. Grok receives it. Something is going wrong. So like if you can see the message body, everything is received and failure. But I can see some failure. Okay, it's not delivering it back. Error compilation. One more time, I can what I can try out is I'm seeing everything now. I'll try it again. Try. Yes, this works. Ah, it works. It works. It works. Let me see. Yeah, here we go. Can you send me a code and a cat? Here you go. So you have received both. Yeah. So that's all we have for this session. So I have documented each and every step what we did now. This README file. If you have any doubt, just ping me. I'm available on all the channels with the same name, Interpret Party, Twitter, LinkedIn, Twitter, and Instagram, Snapchat, everywhere in the same. And don't feel hesitated to ask any doubts. If you have asked your friends, ask me, ask ma'am. So what you're going to do today after this session is you are going to create exactly working application like this, and then you are going to post it in your own GitHub ID. Probably pass that to ma'am for verification later. So if you want to give it a try, just try with the different other open APIs instead of just sending a cat picture or a code. Just try to do something more useful. So I have given. So this presentation is here as a PDF, and also the Python file that we were just executing it, that is also here. So any doubts you can ask me. So anyone have any doubts? Possible I should be able to clarify. You can ping in the chat. Let me check the chat. Okay, okay. But if you have any doubts, you can ping me anytime. Sorry. Yes, ma'am. Yeah, yeah. I have, I have already posted that in the chat, ma'am. Yeah, yeah. It is there. It is there. Yes, 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 yes. It contains all the stuff. Yes, 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 yes. So it generally has this whole README file, step-by-step procedure, what needs to be done. You can ask me any queries, even if you want to do something else, some other project, or you have something in your mind for a long time, but you don't know how to implement it, what kind of technology stack that you need to pick, where to start. You can ask any doubts. Probably not now. Later, you can email me or ping me in any of these platforms. If possible, I will help you guys. Ma'am, I am done from my side. I have given my email ID also there. If they have any queries, they can just email me. I'll respond back. Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. I would definitely love to help if they have any queries further, whether related to this project or anything else further. I would definitely